Greetings to the people of the great city of Fitchburg. It is my honor and privilege to deliver the 151st State of the City Address, and in so doing impress upon you all the significant advances we have made in making all of our lives better. First, in honor of those who have perished, may we take a moment of silence in respect for the people and the tragic invasion of Ukraine. The city of Fitchburg has more than 25 departments that work tirelessly on your behalf. Our Department of Public Works crews work persistently to maintain over 180 miles of public roadways and over 40 miles of private roadways. During 2021, the Streets Division was busy tending to the daily operation and maintenance of our roadways, sidewalks, drainage systems, and other infrastructure needs. And our water and wastewater divisions continue to work on several challenging projects to meet the needs of our community. The city has and continues to invest free cash tax dollars towards DPW plant and equipment needs. Since 2016, the number one use of free cash has gone to public works projects. Over $900,000 has gone to supplement road paving above and beyond the approximate $1.1 million state Chapter 90 funding. In 2021, the engineering division was extremely busy managing the Chapter 90 paving program and worked to complete the following projects from design through bidding and construction. Reconstruction of Summer Street from Harvard Street to Morin Square. The city contracted to reconstruct the sidewalks along both sides of the roadway, coordinated engineering of utilities, water, sewer, and gas utilities. Concurrently, the city has contracted to complete drainage improvements in select locations with a total project cost of approximately $800,000. Repaving of over 1 mile of Oak Hill Road from Franklin Road to Pepper Road. For this project, the city utilized an innovative technology called cold-in-place asphalt recycling for the base layer of pavement. The total project cost was approximately $330,000, and that was taken from free cash. Reconstruction of Alpine, Williams, and McIntyre roads with paving of approximately 1.5 mile stretch. The work included installation of asphalt berms, upgrading existing drainage, and replacing a failed culvert on Williams and McIntyre. The total project cost was approximately $750,000. Construction of 14 disability access ramps on Electric Ave between Drake Road and Mount Elam Road. This included rectangular rapid flashing beacons to improve pedestrian safety while crossing Electric Avenue. The total project cost was approximately $120,000 and was funded in part through a community development block grant. Other notable engineering division highlights included the following. We performed construction administration for the Main Street Boulder Drive two-way conversion project with an anticipated completion date of June of 2022. Applied for and was awarded a $174,000 grant through the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs, Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, to conduct a study of the Upper Baker Brook watershed to help identify ways to alleviate flooding downstream near John Fitch Highway. Continued forward with the design, permitting, and improvements to the Westminster Hill Road Bridge over Phillips Brook. This masonry stone arch bridge, dating back to the 1850s, is currently in poor condition. This project is funded through the $500,000 Mass Department of Transportation's Small Bridge Grant Program. This past year, with the help of the new Bobcat and milling attachment, the Streets Division milled and paved a 200-foot section of Rollstone Road, patched potholes daily, and installed new berms as needed throughout the city. They also completed the following work under the city's Community Development Block Grant Program: installed 12 new ADA-compliant ramps and replaced 525 feet of asphalt and concrete sidewalks on Day Street, replaced 200 feet of concrete sidewalk on Allen Place as well. The Streets Division completed the following stormwater system maintenance and repairs: repaired 50 collapsed catch basins and 5 collapsed manholes, repaired 10 culverts, constructed approximately 1,000 feet of the Rock Walk Trail on Rollstone Hill. This was completed through a Massachusetts DCR Recreational Trails Program grant. During 2021, the Parks Division worked diligently to ensure the upkeep of the city's many parks. Worked with Reimagine North of Main to offer spring and summer movies in the parks series, as well as our concerts on the Common, and completed a recreational trails program grant to design an accessible boardwalk and trail around Mirror Lake at Coggeshall Park. Received a grant for trail maintenance, blazing, and parking lot expansion at the South Street entrance of Coggeshall Park. This expansion was completed by the DPW Streets Division. Restored service for the summer season at the Coolidge Park City Pool following a year-long closure due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite the COVID-19 pandemic and due to the extreme dedication of the Cemetery Division staff, we have kept all burials on schedule. Cemetery Division highlights include Eagle Scout project completed with path signs at Forest Hill, database upgrades, video management, Laurel Hill surveillance, 203 veteran flag holders assembled and installed at Forest Hill, and worked on the design of a new burial area in the Forest Hill Cemetery. Our Water Division works tirelessly to maintain the city's water supply, treatment, and distribution systems to provide access to clean and safe drinking water for our residents. The division has several notable accomplishments for 2021. Citywide water meter upgrade project and Water Smart customer portal. The water meter replacement project is about 97% complete, having replaced approximately 11,400 customer meters in 2020. The project faced delays due to COVID-19. However, it was completed over the course of 2021. Perhaps the greatest benefit of this project to water customers is the new Water Smart portal and app, which allows both DPW staff and customers access to real-time and historic water usage data. I want to encourage Fitchburg residents to use Water Smart customer portal available to the users of our municipal water system. This assists our customers with leak notifications. In the spring of 2021, the Division of Water Supply completed a project to install a hydroturbine at its Narrows Road pressure reducing valve station, which is fully operational and generating electricity. This project had a total cost of $698,000. The hydroturbine unit is anticipated to run over 96% of the time, resulting in an estimated annual generation of more than 65,000 kilowatt hours. This project also included many other repairs and upgrades to the facility. The DPW Wastewater Division worked diligently to ensure the safe and environmentally compliant collection and treatment of the city's wastewater. Notable accomplishments in 2021 include the continued construction on a $10 million combined sewer separation project within Wards 1 and 2 of the city. This is the city's 5th CSS project to date, all of which are mandated by the federal and state environmental agencies. Project also incorporates stormwater improvements that include catch basin and drain pipe replacements, separated 37 combination manholes throughout the city, leaving us with 120 such manholes remaining, and the division continues working to separate these problematic manholes. Boulder Drive combined sewer separation, a project to separate combined sewer drainage flows around the City Hall and Rollstone Bank campuses on Boulder Drive. The East Wastewater Treatment Facility operates around the clock to treat millions of gallons of water and removal of organics and solids with a removal rate of 97.1% of impurities from the effluent to the Nashua River. The division also completed a $24 million capital improvement project at the city's East Wastewater Treatment Facility. This project was mandated by the city's consent decree with the EPA, and it improved the performance of the plant's secondary treatment system. This past year, we have continued to see a marked improvement in the plant's effluent quality as a direct result of this project. Every day, our city health department is working behind the scenes to keep us safe. Our local Board of Health has statutory responsibility to address infectious disease. They are also responsible for protecting residents from a wide variety of other threats, including foodborne illness, water contamination, and lead poisoning. Over the past 2 years, our health department has been extremely busy meeting the demands placed on them as a result of COVID-19. And the city of Fitchburg became the lead community health department for the Montechusett Health Network. As part of the governor's COVID testing initiatives, they distributed 21,000 home test kits. Through ARPA funding, they were able to secure an additional 15,000 home tests, which are still available for pickup at City Hall. In a collaboration with MOC, Health Alliance, Transformative Healthcare, DPH, and the City of Leominster, a COVID test site was established 4 days a week. The health department organized and oversaw over 80 COVID vaccination clinics and vaccinated over 20,000 people. As part of the DPH regionalization project, we will be receiving $300,000 annually for an additional 3 years to expand on regionalization efforts such as shared health services. The health department recently hired a new food inspector. We look forward to reestablishing a good working relationship with our 300+ permitted retail eating and drinking establishments to ensure food and beverages are handled and prepared safely. In 2021, Fitchburg's curbside collection expanded from 16 to 20 weeks of yard waste collection and will continue this in 2022. Residents are urged to sign up for the Recollect, to receive a calendar, be notified of service delays, and to research how to dispose of an item. Fitchburg Westminster sanitary landfill expansion efforts are continuing. The health department is currently collaborating with Waste Management to be permitted to raise the elevation in the areas of the landfill to allow it to operate for an additional 3 to 5 years. Meanwhile, the city is still working on land acquisition to expand operations for upwards of 10 years. Residents need to be reminded that not only does the landfill provide free and reduced disposal options, it also provides revenues to the city nearing $3 million annually. In 2020, DPH awarded the health department a 3-year, $300,000 grant focused on providing overdose prevention to individuals who are homeless, unstably housed, and at risk of overdose. In July of 2021, we were fortunate to have contracted to conduct street outreach in the city 3 days per week. In 2021, a CDBG award enabled us to expand our services to all who are homeless or at risk of homelessness. In collaboration with the Fitchburg Police Department, the annual Overdose Awareness Vigil was held in August. Again, in conjunction with the PD, National Drug Take-Back Day was held in October with 84 pounds of medication collected. The next collection will be held Saturday, April 30th from 10 to noon in front of the City Hall campus. In September, the Health Department founded the Fitchburg Interagency Team, a group of providers who collaborate to provide the most efficient and effective coordination of services to the homeless population. City of Fitchburg, as lead community for the MPHN, was awarded a new prevention grant. This Massachusetts Collaborative for Action, Leadership, and Learning is an initial $250,000 two-year award, renewable every 2 years for a total of $1 million. With Fitchburg as the lead community, we will partner with Leominster, Gardner, and Winchendon to provide prevention services focused on first use of substances by youth. The Housing Inspection Division inspected over 2,500 dwellings and over 500 units in 2021. Over 5,000 violations have been issued and 4,500 corrections have been noted. Many corrections have been made by collaborating with the legal department and the Attorney General's office. Over 40 housing code cases were filed in Worcester Housing Court. Many of these cases resulted in receiverships being appointed or has pressured out-of-state banks and financial institutions to move on long-time vacant and abandoned properties in the city. This division seeks to continue to reduce the number of troubled properties in the city. The Health Department also worked with the IT Department to implement a new online permitting system, View Permit, cloudopen.gov, streamlined permitting with the goal to make the Fitchburg Health Department more business-friendly. Our IT department supports all city departments, and all have specific needs with regard to software and technology. New City Hall added additional responsibility with hybrid meetings, audio-visual technology, building automation, and security. The department cooperated with the FBI and state local police while fully recovering from the proxy logon Exchange server attack within a few days. Due to this worldwide attack, IT had to rebuild and restore from backup the city's mail server while coordinating with a criminal investigation. Our recovery time was substantially faster than most of the other 3,000 communities that fell victim to this event. The IT department also had increased responsibility with regard to the pandemic response and continues to maintain and offer remote access to our network resources when end users need to work remotely. For contact tracing, fully remote departments were created, utilizing online technology and a network of wireless office phones. They have also added numerous Wi-Fi access points, such as our public Wi-Fi network at the police department, DPW, and senior center. And they continue to address the needs of the city end users via our help desk ticketing system. In the fall, we hired an additional support technician, and we are seeing a large spike in solved tickets and a substantial increase in productivity. The hardworking men and women of the Fitchburg Police Department logged over 53,000 calls in 2021. The department held their 10th annual Fitchburg Junior Police Academy over the summer. This program is led by our school resource officers and our community engagement unit. In 2021, the Fitchburg Police Department received 12 grants with awarded funds totaling approximately $1.7 million. The COPS Award will allow the department to hire 2 police officers whose primary job will be to respond to mental health and substance abuse crises within the city. The comprehensive opioid stimulant and substance abuse program will allow for the police department to partner with Community Health Link to hire a substance abuse licensed clinician to be embedded into the police department for each case. Case management and response to substance abuse calls for service. The Shannon Grant provided over $400,000 for youth anti-violence efforts. Additional grant awards supported programs to fund a domestic violence advocate, our 911 dispatchers, and to conduct post-encounter follow-up visits alongside a licensed clinician to persons who recently have a mental health crisis. Preliminary crime statistics for 2021 reports criminal activity is down 19% from 2020. Highlights include a 58% decrease in reported burglaries, 29% decrease in reported motor vehicle thefts, a 51% decrease in reported thefts from motor vehicles, and a 68% decrease in reported robberies. Our Community Development and Planning Department works to provide ongoing support to new and existing small businesses. In 2021, the department assisted 14 businesses with COVID emergency grants, and in total have brought over $300,000 to 61 businesses throughout the pandemic. They provided dozens of portable heaters to small businesses to support outdoor seating, and approved 22 businesses through our expedited outdoor premises expansion program. They work to help businesses like Great Wolf reopen safely and continue to support the business community with the challenges presented by COVID-19. They work diligently to help small businesses grow through loan and grant programs. The new Micro Enterprise Grant Program has supported 2 new small businesses downtown. The Business Loan Program has supported 4 new small businesses, and there are many more in the pipeline. There was 1 loan in the portfolio at the start of my time in office. Now it has over a dozen. We continue to work with our partners at the North Central Mass Development Corporation, TDI, and Reimagine North of Main to match funding to support our small business community. We have an additional $350,000 in our portfolio's capacity to provide additional supports, grants, and loans to businesses that need it. And we have an additional 4 businesses in that pipeline today. Our Small Business Working Group continues to meet on a monthly basis with our partners in the private and nonprofit sector, laser focused on collaboration, sharing ideas and resources to help downtown businesses thrive. Our monthly development review meetings continue to occur to ensure that there is a clear, predictable process for a business or development, and joint walkthroughs of properties with economic development, building, fire, and the Board of Health give business owners peace of mind as they look to invest in Fitchburg. 14 new businesses opened and 2 reopened after the pandemic. 11 of those are in our downtown. These business launches, both large and small, do not happen by accident, but with the support and focus of folks at City Hall and public and private partnerships we have built to support small business development. Game On Fitchburg, for example, is a project that received its first approvals back in 2017. But for the past 4 years, city department heads have been working hand in hand with Game On to not only help get that project up and running, but work through concerns related to traffic, noise, and signage. I was thrilled to see the outdoor fields open in the spring, and am even more excited by the full facility opening this winter. This project will generate over $100,000 in yearly tax revenue for the city, and has already created a new and existing tourist destination for Fitchburg. We also saw a number of important expansions of existing businesses. River Sticks, who originally received seed funding through a city loan, recently received over $670,000 from Mass Development to expand its brewing operation to reach a larger clientele. Garden Remedies completed an over $1.5 million upgrade to their extraction lab, and Micron Industries received $240,000 from the Commonwealth to support worker training for specialized manufacturing. We are continuing to explore opportunities to improve the way we do business in the city of Fitchburg. Most importantly, this summer, we finally wrapped up a rigorous rezoning process which will dramatically reshape local land use in the city. Some of the improvements made by this process included removed parking requirements for Main Street properties with less than 6 units, created more flexible zoning to support small-scale manufacturing and food production, such as bakeries and breweries, made it easier to develop more quality housing in some of our densest, most economically distressed neighborhoods. We also took a close look at our parking policy and are finally implementing results of a downtown parking study to create more efficient, effective downtown parking. These changes will include removing the parking meters and instituting time-limited free parking, allowing for free parking at the Boulder Drive entrance of the Mill Street garage, simplifying the process to park in our Putnam and Mill Street garages, improve wayfinding and permitting systems to make parking easier to identify. The Community Development and Planning Department brought in nearly $600,000 in grant funding to support planning and economic development objectives. At the same time, we work to support our public-private partnerships in securing nearly $4 million to help improve the city with projects such as the theater block, the vacant storefront tax credit program, and the transformative development program. Our local economy is on a continued upward trajectory. Since 2016, the average number of building permits issued in the city has gone up almost 60%, and the total valuation of that work has risen by 253%. Those figures are truly astounding and speak to the growth taking place in our city. This growth has been comprehensive and has covered a variety of sectors. Production of housing units in the past 2 years is over 20% higher than the previous 4 years combined. Growth in the cannabis cultivation industry, coupled with the new Amazon last mile facility, continues to diversify the city's industrial tax base and create competitive wage jobs for Fitchburg residents. And our work is not done. There are over 350 units of housing that have been permitted in the downtown. More than anything, this year has been an exciting time to break ground on a number of projects that sat largely dormant during the pandemic. This past summer, the former Simon Sarin Steel saw the demolition of existing buildings and the site preparation for Amazon. When completed, this 97,000 square foot facility will create 50 to 100 full-time jobs, 150 to 200 delivery drivers, and bring in new property and excise taxes for the city of Fitchburg. Harper Furniture, the Morin Square redevelopment, which first received its approvals in 2017, broke ground this year. When the project is completed in the fall, this $23.9 million project will create 44 units of housing and will bring in 8,500 square feet of commercial space. Our Main Street Boulder Drive project has begun working converting Main Street and Boulder Drive to two-way traffic. The first construction cycle saw improvements to sidewalks, drainage, and curbing. This spring and summer, we will install new traffic signals on Putnam Street, make important changes to the eastern and western intersections of Main and Boulder, and transform Cushing and Mill Streets into a pedestrian plaza for events and outdoor activities. This $4 million project is planned to finish in June and will finally convert Main Street and Boulder Drive to two-way traffic. After years of planning and with the support of the Community Development Department, we broke ground at the Sam Pollock Community Playground, an inclusive playground project in Park Hill Park. This project was made possible through CDBG, a $400,000 grant from the state, and donations from the Friends of the Pollock Playground. The park has all the equipment in place and will be open for business in the spring, with the official ribbon cutting scheduled for 3:30 p.m. on Thursday, May 12th. Fitchburg will be the first community in the region to have a fully inclusive playground available to all children in the city. Crescent Street Townhouses was completed this past year, the first such project in the city to take advantage of the Housing Development Incentive Program, which provides state and local tax incentives for market rate housing in gateway cities. This 7-unit project received over $375,000 from the state through this program. 2021 brought people back to downtown with a series of events. First Thursdays, closing down the street to traffic for live music and outdoor commerce. We brought thousands back downtown with Trick or Treat on Main Street. We held our annual tree lighting in the Upper Common, and Main Street was beautifully lit for the holidays thanks to generous donations from our community. In December, our Fitchburg Cultural Council held our first Winter Bazaar in City Hall, where 45 small businesses sold their goods and hundreds of people visited and shopped. Twin City Rail Trail, a 20-plus year project in the making, is now nearing completion. The first phase of this project will take the trail to 4th and Middle Street. Second phase will include a $10 million bridge over the Nashua River, and commuter rail line will be completed in a few years. In 2021, Fitchburg moved to a single tax rate. In October, it decreased to $1.42 per thousand, or $17.61 versus $19.03. We have the third lowest residential tax bill liability in the region. We are nearly $2,030 below the state average tax bill. Property values are on a 5-year rise and continue trending upward. Overall values are up $372 million from the prior fiscal year. Commercial industrial values are up 4.8% for the year. In 2021, total of building permits was 116.4 million, 37.4 million over 2020 year. 34 new single-family homes completed in the last 2 years. 10 distressed properties were demolished. We've seen a notable increase in investment in the last 2 years, including the redevelopment of multiple industrial properties, filling large, previously vacant, underutilized properties. Ethos Cannabis at 20 Authority Drive, Atlantic Medicinal Partners at 774 Crawford Street, and the redevelopment of 219 River Street. Currently, Fitchburg's medical and adult use marijuana businesses include 6 marijuana cultivators, along with 4 retail locations. And Fitchburg's Revolutionary Clinics was named by Inc. magazine as the #4 fastest growing private company in the entire country. Last year's cannabis 3% sales tax generated $275,000 to the general fund. Our host agreements are in effect for 5 years, and last year's agreements generated approximately $845,000, which went into free cash. Fitchburg Municipal Airport had an excellent year, and for the first time in many years, it is operating in the black. Our aviation customers are very happy with a new runway and the self-serve fuel station. The airport has added a part-time lineman to the staff, and they are moving forward with making repairs on many of the old hangars. We also have a proposal for 7 to 9 new hangars to be built by private businesses. The airport recently received 2 grants that will help us better prepare for the future. A $100,000 site readiness grant awarded from the Baker-Polito administration will be used to have the property evaluated on the airport master plan for potential future development. And the first of a potential 5-year grant, $295,000, will be used to address our airport improvement needs. Work is currently underway with mass development to redevelop portions of the discontinued runway for commercial development. We are seeing continued industrial development, such as the repurposing of the West plant for anaerobic digestion and the planned reuse of the Monks Joe paper mill as a life science manufacturing facility. We continue to seek to capitalize on our existing manufacturing heritage to create bold new visions for the future. Our public library staff worked through the pandemic and welcomed patrons with curbside service from June 2020 through May 2021, when they were thrilled to once again have patrons back inside the building. Fitchburg Public Library was one of 16 libraries to receive a $5,000 American Dream Literacy Initiative grant to provide citizenship training and a citizenship corner for people seeking information on citizenship and adult literacy and ESL. Thanks to a 2021 grant from UMass Memorial Health Alliance Clinton Hospital's Determination of Needs Fund, the library was able to hold a series of 3 virtual programs in early 21 on diabetes education. They also welcomed a new teen services librarian, an administrative assistant for the office, and 2 high school pages. Story times resumed with sessions in the youth library garden and outside at Hollis Hills Farm. We also joined Canopy, a movie streaming service for patrons to access thousands of movies from home. Our fire department remains vigilant with protecting our community. This past year brought many challenges to the department, but I'm proud to tell you we have met those tests. Fire department received numerous emergency management preparedness grants totaling approximately $150,000 to assist with equipment costs. A $20,000 tablet grant assisted with purchasing tablets, monitors, and making software upgrades to streamline dispatch operations. We now can access streets, hydrant locations, and specific building features all in real time. A $20,000 thermal imaging camera grant helped purchase 4 thermal imaging cameras. $25,000 hazmat radios grant will help purchase 4 hazmat specific radios, which rescue crews will use while wearing encapsulated hazmat suits. Communication is critical during rescue operations, and these radios will most certainly aid the rescuers during operations. A $75,000 rescue airbag grant will help the department purchase 3 sets of rescue airbags, which crews use during heavy rescue operations. These bags are used during auto extrications, heavy equipment accidents, industrial accidents, and structural collapse incidences. And finally, a $2,500 automatic defibrillator grant allowed the department to secure a new AED. In 2021, our Veterans Services Office paid out over $500,000 in Chapter 115 veteran benefits to Fitchburg veterans and surviving dependents. The office served over 100 veterans per month and consisted of over 4,000 points of contact throughout the year. They filed over 100 claims for service, connected disabilities, health care applications, state annuities, widows benefits, etc. Working with the Department of Veterans Affairs, Healthcare Administration, they held a COVID vaccination clinic, and working with the Fitchburg Veterans Council, organized our annual Memorial Day and Veterans Day ceremonies. Veterans Service Office organized 2 major fundraisers that benefited the Friends of Fitchburg Veterans Emergency Relief Fund. The annual 5K and a murder mystery dinner at Great Wolf. Veterans Office also helped realize the Hometown Heroes banners and worked with the DPW to get them hung downtown. Currently, our Veterans Commissioner is assisting the Fitchburg Veterans Council in their efforts with establishing a Fitchburg Veterans Center. Throughout the pandemic, our Senior Center continued their mission to meet the needs of our seniors by having drive-bys and providing support by phone for any questions regarding local resources or just to chat. They also help distribute high-visibility house numbers to our seniors to aid emergency responders. This past May, the center reopened its doors for seniors to come together, feel supported by others. Since then, they have seen an increased number of members participating in their most popular activities: bingo, exercise, and craft programs. In December 21, the community gathered to celebrate the 130th anniversary of the Armory's opening. Recently, the center had a grand opening of our completely volunteer-staffed Armory Cafe, serving home-cooked lunches to 25-plus seniors, 3 days a week, all the while bringing seniors together and creating long-lasting friendships. Our Fitchburg School Department is poised for the future. This year, we will complete redistricting, whereby South Street School will become a pre-kindergarten and kindergarten center. McKay, Crocker, and Rheingold will become grades 1 through 5 elementary schools, and Longsjo and Memorial will be the 2 middle schools serving students in grades 6 through 8. With the second year of Student Opportunity Act funding, we are poised to hire staff and implement supports to narrow both academic and opportunity gaps of our students. We will complete a strategic plan based on values of growth-focused, vulnerability, trustworthy, adaptable, and collaboration. We joined the Massachusetts Partnership for Diversity in Education as part of our strategy to create a more diverse and inclusive teaching staff, and received a grant from the Barr Foundation to help us analyze past hiring patterns. Currently, we have 12 Fitchburg High School seniors working in our elementary school as part of Time Future Educators. The department expanded partnerships with the Fitchburg Art Museum, and with the support of the Cathedral Fund, we have distributed $50,000 of grocery store retail gift cards and food to community families. We have 25 Longs Joe students attending an after-school program at Fitchburg Art Museum. With Fitchburg State University, we have created a Future Falcons program to identify middle school students as potential future college students and educators. We continue to upgrade our school facilities. We will utilize ESSER funding to upgrade the Univent systems at Rheingold, Memorial, and South Street. With MSBA support at Longs Joe Middle School, we plan to replace the windows and will apply to replace the boiler and add solar panels to Longs Joe's roof as another step to reducing our carbon footprint. The Crocker MSBA Core project is currently in the design phase, and we are on schedule for a February 2025 completion. And the school department will continue to provide and expand our adult ESL classes for our parents and community members. I want to thank the ladies and gentlemen of our city departments, from the DPW crews maintaining our infrastructure, our public safety personnel keeping us safe, to our teachers and clerical support who ensure the customer is served. I would also like to thank our boards and commissions, as well as our volunteer groups, for their devoted time and effort. And a special thank you to FATV, who made this broadcast possible. In closing, I would like to thank my wife, Joanne, and my family for their continued support and confidence in me. And a very special thank you to my Chief of Staff, Natalia Oliver, and my longtime administrative assistant, Joan David. Thank you, and God bless the city of Fitchburg.